You guys know what time it is. The video I like to do every month or so, every other month, where I just tell you about the art that I've been into recently. We talk a lot about art on this channel, and I think it's only appropriate we talk about the art that we're also reading and watching. Before I even get started here, I always forget to do this. Before I even get started, let me know in the comments below what art you've been into. Movies, TV shows, music, books, the usual drill that I try and do here is go over one movie, one book, and one album or piece of music I've been listening to. I'm gonna get it right out of the way here. I honestly don't think I've had any new music in like a month, which is sad. I actually feel like I've been in a rut with my music lately. So maybe, if you guys have like music recommendations, that'd be pretty great. If that's the art you've been into recently, I'd love to hear that, because I'm all out. I'm fresh out of music. I'm usually into a lot of pop stuff, so if you guys had any of that for me, let me know. But the reason I did want to come here and make this video is because I have way more movies than usual, and I have a TV show this time. I've never had a TV show, I don't think, on this. Maybe I have. I think I talked about Seinfeld once, but TV shows are rare. I feel like TV is like this weird middle ground where you don't quite expect the same level of goodness that's in a movie. For me, at least, I'm never watching a TV show oh, I'm expecting to have my life changed by this right now. But they're often really solid things, right? And I'll start with the TV show here. I'll start with the TV show I'd been watching. Finished now. Mussolini, Son of the Century. It's on Mubi. Had to get Mubi to watch that. Didn't feel great. Hate getting new things. Hate getting subscription services. But I gotta say, what a show. That is maybe one of the best shows I think I've ever watched. So good, genuinely amazing. As I said, on Mubi, it's in full Italian, which I don't know, I didn't expect it. It kind of threw me off when I first started watching. I don't know why I expected it to be in English. That's, wouldn't make much sense. It took place in Italy in the 1930s. I don't know why I was expecting to hear him be my name is Abenito. I wasn't expecting that, or I was expecting that, but I shouldn't have been. Truly one of the best shows I think I ever watched, though. Just so good. I'm not even gonna say anything about it because I really just genuinely want you guys to go watch it. People have been talking about, I think it came out last year, so I think people have been talking about it for a minute, but it covers the most interesting time, because you think of somebody like that. Obviously he had a pretty relevant run in the 1930s, right, to say the least, into the mid 40s. He kind of the talk of the town for a good decade and a half there, right? But what we don't think about as much is the period in Italy leading up to all that, how they take power, how to come about, and genuinely, it's so interesting. Has many parallels with today, if you ask me. That's of course, I suppose, unfortunately, a matter of opinion, maybe. But truly one of the best things to watch. I've also been watching more movies lately. That's something I've been challenging myself to do because I don't watch enough movies. I think I say this every time. I'm always challenging myself to watch more movies. I think I've done it lately, though. I think I've actually watched more movies lately. Of course, One Battle After Another came out. You gotta talk about that. That was such a good movie. So good. Nothing to say even. Just such a good movie. Everything they say about that movie is true. Go watch that if you haven't. But another movie, two other movies, because it is, I want to make this whole thematic here, Halloween is soon. Friday, I think. Yeah, Friday, right? I don't know. I don't have any Halloween plans, so I don't really need to know when Halloween is. But, Halloween soon. So I've been watching a couple horror movies, which I've always liked horror movies. But, you're at a certain age when they're, crazy. When you hit a certain age, they're not quite as cool anymore. And I kind of, was when I was young enough where horror movies were the craziest thing that really scared me as a kid. I was too scared to even watch them. And then as I got older, now I'm at the age where horror movies don't really I enjoy them, but I wouldn't say they're, I don't know, I think the fun of being a kid and watching a movie that's just scaring you to death is kind of gone at this point. When you hit a certain age, that doesn't really happen anymore. You get scared, but you get jump scared or whatever, but the idea of being up in your bed at night and not being able to sleep because you watch a scary movie kind of not happening anymore, right? But I did watch two what I thought were scary movies. So the first one that I'll talk about here is Silence of the Lambs, right? And very famous movie. Similar to what I just said about One Battle After Another, everything they say about this movie is true. If you haven't seen this movie, yeah, go see this movie. It's insanely good. I mean, like, I shouldn't be... This is like when I did Citizen Kane, when I was talking about Citizen Kane, and I was like, guys, Citizen Kane's actually a solid movie. Like, everybody knows this, of course. I'm the last guy on earth to get to this movie. But wow, is it good. It is just an insanely good movie. The reason I said I think it's a horror movie is because is it not like more of a thriller, like a psychological kind of movie? Because I didn't find it scary, right? Like, I didn't think there was anything too scary going on. Like, yeah, no, I don't get how it's a horror movie. I'm gonna be real. There were no, like, jump scares or anything like that. Not that there needs to be for it to be a horror movie, but, like, that's, you know, they didn't really... I guess my point in saying that is, like, they're not really trying to scare you. Like, it's... I don't know. I think it's more of a thriller, I guess. It's more of, like, a psychological thing, which it does extremely well. Like, as much as I didn't think it was, like, scary where I'm, like, screaming at it, I thought it was just fantastic in general, right? But I think, like, the biggest thing that I thought was going to be scary that it wasn't was Hannibal Lecter, who's obviously from that very famous character who's from that movie, right? I thought he was going to be, like, a villain, which, I mean, like, okay, obviously, I mean, he's a serial killer in the movie. He's not, like, a good guy. But, like, if you look at just his actions, you don't actually see him, like, when he's a serial killer. He's, like, in jail in the movie, right? And you don't see his actions, like, as... Or at least, like, you don't see his bad actions. Like, the actions that he takes in the movie are overall pretty good. I mean, like, he spoiler alert for this movie that came out 30 years ago, and I'm the last person on earth to watch, but he takes out two guys to break out of jail at one point, right? So, like, that's not good. Like, that's obviously a bad thing he did. But, like, outside of that, he's overall, I mean, a pretty good guy. He, kind of just, like, hangs out with Jodie Foster. He you know, just talks to her a bunch. The whole time I was like, oh, he's gonna talk to her, and then he's gonna, like, mess with her head, and then, you know, at the end I thought maybe he would kill her, like, something crazy would happen. No, he talks to her a bunch. He helps him find this other serial killer, breaks out of jail. And when he broke out of jail, I was like, oh, this is it. This is when this guy turns into the evil guy that we've all heard about. No, he breaks out of jail, and he kind of just goes about his day. I mean, he even calls Jodie Foster at the end to congratulate her on her promotion. So, you know, I haven't seen I know there's a sequel called Hannibal. It's featuring him as the main character. Maybe he's more evil than that, but I'm not going to watch that because I hear it's bad. So, you know, overall, I gotta say, I'm shocked of how good of a guy this guy was. But overall, fantastic movie. I mean, just like a fantastic movie. Totally watch that. If you guys have not seen that movie, you need to see that movie. That's something that, like, I was so pleasantly surprised. I watched it actually last night while I was working, right? I was editing some Paint Talks, actually, funny enough. And, like, I put it on just being like, oh, I've heard of this is good. Like, let me just throw it on and I'll, like, you know, like, watch it to the side. I didn't think I'd even be paying attention to it. And within 5 minutes, I was just not even doing work anymore. I was just, you know, hunched over, staring at my screen like, this is the most good thing ever. This is intense. This is crazy. Another movie I've watched, keeping with our horror theme here, and this movie had a lot more discourse around it lately, so I'm excited to talk about this. Weapons. Weapons is that movie where all the kids, at like 2 a.m., they run out of their house and they just disappear, and everybody's like, why did that happen? Let me get this out of the way. I liked the movie. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it did what it wanted to do pretty well. I thought, like, the way it told its story was great. I gotta say, though, I did have a little problem with it, right? And I think this is, a me thing. Like, if you're thinking of watching Weapons, don't let this, what I'm about to say, dissuade you. Go watch it. Totally go watch it. It's on streaming now. So, like, you know, if you have HBO, you know, go watch it. It's great. It's a great movie. Good watch. If you watch it with some friends, it's fun, too. That's how I did. I watched it with some friends, and that was fun. Because it's not like, you know, it's a scary movie, but it's not like there's no brevity to it. Like, it has a little bit of humor. Like, it's a fun movie to watch. It's not the type of movie where you're, like, you're screaming and running, you know? It's fun. So, my issue, though, is, like, And I had this similar issue with Old Boy. I don't know if I ever talked about that on the channel. I might have. I don't like when movies, like, I just think it's kind of a mistake when a movie makes one big thing the whole center, like one mystery, and they just build up the suspense of solving that mystery the whole time. I think that's a mistake to me. Like, I don't like when movies do that, because to me, in my experience seeing these kind of things, you can never, once you lay out a really great question and you build it up for a full 2 hours, your answer is never going to be good enough. Your answer is never going to be interesting enough for me. That's at least, you know, again, that's why I'm saying this is a me thing, because I mean, like, I'm sure most people saw Weapons and the answer was more than good enough for them of the mystery of why these kids went missing. But like, I remember, I don't know when it was probably, man, when did Weapons come out? It's some movie I was seeing over the summer. I saw the trailer for Weapons, where all the kids running, you know, they have their arms like, and they're running out of their houses. And I remember seeing that, I was like, this is the most interesting ever. Like, even just the trailer sold me. Like, I was like, I want to see why those kids went missing, right? It's such a good setup. So creepy, a bunch of kids run at 2 a.m. And like, I think that's its issue though, right? It's such a good setup that to me, like, I thought the payoff was cool. Not cool enough though. Not cool enough is what I wanted. And the issue in me saying that is I don't even know what I wanted. I don't know what would have been good or better. I just thought it was going to be something super scary at the end or something like that. Whereas the reasoning and, you know, what kind of happens, I'm not going to spoil it because this is a newer movie. The reasoning as to what happens and how things occur is a little bit more, I don't know, it's not that it's like normal, like it's crazy, and it, you know, there's an element of horror to it, of course, but I didn't exactly find it too scary. I don't know, maybe, obviously, I think the interesting thing about horror movies is right next to comedy, they're perhaps the most subjective thing ever. Like, what scares a person, right? It could be literally anything. So, you know, obviously what I find scary, some people might be watching this like, I thought the end of Weapons was absolutely horrifying. I thought it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. So like, it's such a subjective thing, right? Some people might be watching this like, wow, this guy really misread Hannibal Lecter. And I'm worried I might have. Because I hopped on the internet the next day and gave a Hannibal Lecter endorsement, which obviously wasn't my goal. But overall, I just think that like, when you make such a large setup, it's so hard to get that payoff right. So few movies do it. But I guess that's why like those are considered to be great movies then, you know, if you can really set that up and nail it in the end. I guess that's part of the appeal of some of these movies, right? So, lastly, books. We gotta talk about books, right? Well, this is kind of a Halloween themed episode here, but we gotta talk about books a little bit, right? So I've been reading pretty ordinary book diet lately, if you will, if I may say that. Pretty good, just like normal stuff I've been reading, nothing too crazy. Going through some Kierkegaard right now, who's a philosopher, you might know. Really great. I find him to be one of the most relatable guys I've read. He's pretty great. If you guys want just like a fun philosopher that's like not gonna like make you, you know, I mean, I don't know, he invented existentialism. And I think what's so interesting about like a lot of his writing, as I'm going through it, is like, it's a very, you would expect existentialism to invent that, to be kind of a very cerebral process of like maybe looking up at the stars and being like, wow, we're small, or like there's a degree of meaninglessness to the lives we're living, like something like that. That's it's not a very emotional process, right? There's the feeling of feeling existential, but we don't view existentialism as like a super emotional thing, right? I think it's so interesting just how his process of coming to these conclusions, these existential conclusions, are very emotional. They're very raw. They're very real. It's just sort of him looking around being like, man, like, if I do this, that won't be good. If I do that, that won't be great. What's the point of any of this? And like, it's relatable. It's interesting. It holds up. And it's just like very emotional writing. I think that's what's so great about it. So definitely check that out. If you just want some philosophy to read, I've gotten people DMing me before being like, what's a good philosopher to start with? Because they think like, some of the discussions here are interesting and want to like read a real smart person, not like watch me babble in a cube all day. And like, I'd say he's like a cool one to start with. I think he's pretty cool. So shout out to Kierkegaard for sure. But on top of that, and this is a little, again, this is a very regular episode of this art kind of digest that I do here, right? Because this is something I've never done, but I want to talk about a magazine, right? I've been reading this magazine. This is Profane. It's a Parisian magazine. They do have it in English though. It's not just in French. You can get it in French or English. Sorry to you if you don't speak either of those languages. Don't know really how you're watching this video if you can't, but you know, since I famously do these in French. But this is a magazine, 24 USD. So it's not bad, right? And the reason I'm mentioning this, one, this is a very interesting magazine. It doesn't need to be this if you're picking up a magazine, but this is an interesting one. It's highlighting artists, highlighting, like, it's a little smaller. So it's highlighting artists who are a little bit smaller, but like still maintains a really high level of quality in who they're highlighting. It's not just like random people. Like, I'm sure you guys have read, like, if you guys ever encounter like an art blog on the internet, it's very obvious that they're just like talking about their friends who paint in their spare time. They're like, you know, this person lives down the road from me and they paint. It's like, yeah, like, you know, you want a level of quality in the people you're being recommended a magazine. Not that that's not interesting. I like hearing about anything, but like, you know, you want something that's a little above a higher brow, I guess. I don't know. I'm losing my point here. So this is great. If you want something like that about art, highlighting artists of all kinds, peculiar things, this issue's theme is amateur and art, and it talks a lot about art brut, I believe is how you pronounce it, which is like amateur art, self-taught, yada, 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 right? You get it. The reason I'm talking about this is not because of how great this magazine is, even though it is great. I love the designing on it too. I mean, like, the covers are crazy. I'm talking about it because magazines are like hugely underrated nowadays. I think because of like I'm thinking about it like this, right? A subscription to this annually is 30 euros. I think that's like 40 bucks. Pretty good, right? For 2 of these a year. 2 thick books. This is a high quality, well-made book, you know. Over 200 pages I want. Yeah, like 230 pages in this. Pretty solid, right? For 40 bucks, 2 of these a year is not bad. But I think we need to hold that in comparison just how crazy the subscriptions on like Netflix are. If you have Netflix, and I just canceled my Netflix recently. If you have Netflix, it's like 15, 20 bucks a month. That is 15 bucks a month is like 180 a year. That's crazy. Compared to 40 to get this, which is way better than Netflix. I mean, how much is on Netflix these days? And way better content. You're gonna get way more out of it. High quality book, high quality paper, well made. It's a real thing. We got to get back into magazines, guys. I've been getting a couple different subscriptions lately because I'm like, this is just good. Like, it helps you kind of curate with how crazy the internet's getting. It's cheaper than going through all these subscriptions. You know, if you cancel 2 subscriptions, you can get 5 magazines for the same price. That's way better. So that's my take, guys. Get on magazines. They're really great. I think what I want to do, because I'm new into this, right? I'm new into the magazine game. You know, this is definitely a new thing I've been doing here. This is like my second magazine I ever picked up. But I think what I want to do is I'm going to get a couple magazines over the next couple months, the next year or whatever, right? I'm going to do an episode of this eventually where I just do a magazine highlight and I just give you guys magazines. Because this is going to be my thing. I think this is a great idea. Like, magazines, hugely underrated. People do not talk about them enough anymore. So, a little special highlight at the end there, I guess. This is the painting. It's a rock. It's not a very good rock, if I say so myself. I started losing it at the very beginning when all the paint started dripping down, and the rock ended up way lower than I wanted, but really I just messed up the shading here. Even though this is the next thing I want to keep doing. I want to try and get the abstract forms down. I want to start painting rocks. And you know what? It's cool. Even though it's not great, it's a little different, and I'm glad I tried that. So, go check out on the TikTok and the Instagram. And until next time, guys, gals, and pals, my name is Mac Dice. This has been Paint Talk episode 301. I'm here every morning, painting and talking with you all.